Welcome to Bank on Her. I'm Mackenzie Conklin, and I teach you how to make confidence a strength in and out of your business so you can build self-made wealth and unrealistic success on your terms. I've gone from defeatingly low self-worth to a multiple six-figure entrepreneur by learning how to bank on myself, and I believe you can do it too. Listen to find out how. Hello. Welcome to this week's episode. I'm really excited for this one. So what this week's episode is all about is the client panel that I had on my webinar yesterday. And it's so special. It's just so special. And I love what they shared. I love how transparent all these women were. And I think it'll be really great for you all to hear what they were struggling with before joining Unlimited, what they loved best, the advice that they'd actually give you to create your own unrealistic success. I just think it's going to be so powerful for you to hear, because here's the thing. Everyone hears the 25% richer stories, the unrealistic success stories, the incredible growth that my clients have, but I think it hits different when you're hearing it from them. And the specific thing that I think is so powerful here, and they shared it in the chat, and I know I can't bottle up that chat for you, but they did share in the chat with women, and they'll talk a little bit about it on this episode too, that they were terrified to join Unlimited. All of them, I think one of them said like crying, puking, like shitting my pants scared. And they all thought, here's the thing too, I chose all these women because they all thought they had too much debt to join or doubt. They thought they were too depressed to join, too much shame. They were all convinced it couldn't be them. And one of them will share this, but I just want to reiterate, they all had the sentiment of, I'm going to mess up your 100% success rate because it can't be me. It cannot be me who is these success stories, who hits 25% richer. They thought it would take them 6 months just to create a little bit of change. And it's never been true. It doesn't take 6 months. Most of these women inside who you're about to hear from, and they'll tell you, have been in Unlimited for 60 days total. So I'm just going to list off what they've done. And so one of them, within the first 60 days of Unlimited, she has 4x her cash. She has made over $20,000 cash. She came to me really disliking her business, and she's in love with it. And she feels so safe now in a way that she never has in her body. And she's also starting a second business. So that's one of them. Another one of them thought debt was a life sentence. She saw debt as a part of her identity. She's always grown up with debt. She thought she'd always have debt. It was always in her family. She paid off $25,000 of debt within 2 months together. And she has grown her confidence so much that it's now something that people comment on all of the time. And she had, and she'll talk about it here, this 7-year plan for starting a school. And it's been 5 months, and it's starting in May. And so just beautiful, incredible things have happened to her. And it's all because we built her confidence, we changed her identity, and done the work of Unlimited. The third one has 7 extra cash booked out, and she hadn't signed a client in months before joining Unlimited. Booked her business out. She moved abroad, doubled her lifetime sales, and she was commenting on how she's literally going to Vietnam next month and taking all these trips. And she never thought it could be her. She specifically said, I'm going to mess up your 100% success rate. And she's had such beautiful growth. The next one has only been in Unlimited 60 days as well. And she went from earning $450 a month cash to earning over $10,000 in those 60 days with no sign of slowdown. She started a second business. She started sharing her art. It was a lifelong thing that she's been this beautiful artist, and she's never really shared her work, her poetry, and she's now publishing a book because of the confidence she's built in Unlimited. She's hired a team. She's just doing so amazing, and it's only been 60 days. And then finally, our last client who was on here as well, only 60 days. She'll tell a story that I think is really beautiful, how she's always set this intention to spend more time, intentional time with her wife, and it's always failed. She's always said, I'll take Fridays off, and she always put it on the back burner for her business and trying to make it work and all this pressure to make more money. And she's just had literally, it sounds like the best marriage ever. She goes out on dates 1, 2, sometimes even 3 times per week. They do such new fun things. They try out curling lessons, cross-country skiing. They go dancing. They do all these beautiful things. And it's because of the Richer Project in Unlimited. So without further ado, I'm so excited for you to hear from them, because I just think it's so special to hear from women who also thought they couldn't do it and who have created such beautiful, beautiful success. And I want you to know that every single woman inside Unlimited succeeds. it's not just these women, it's every single woman inside. And so I'm so excited for you to hear from them. So we have 5 incredible, beautiful clients here. And so it looks like they're getting pinned up here now. And so I just want them to introduce themselves, but here's what I really want you guys to see. You hear from me all day long about their success, about what we do inside of Unlimited, about what Unlimited's like. But there's nothing more special, I think, than you hearing from them and you seeing that you can do it too. I think that's so important. And so let's just have them introduce themselves. So we're going to go Danielle, Beth, Mick, Alicia, Steph. So why don't you just share your name, what you do, and if you were a past client, current client, what you are relating to Unlimited. So Danielle, take it away.
Hi, I hope you can hear me. I switched my stuff. Okay, cool. I'm Danielle. I own a dog daycare and I'm also growing a mindset coaching business. I am a current client inside of Unlimited and I'm just so excited to be here.
Amazing. Beth?
Hi, I'm Beth. I'm a former one-to-one and then have just recently joined this round of Unlimited. And I am founding my very first school in May.
Amazing. Mick?
Hey, I'm Michaela. I'm a systems and operations strategist specializing in Dubsado. And I was in the previous round of Unlimited and I've just signed up for the new round that starts on March 21st.
Amazing. Alicia?
Hi, what's up? I'm Alicia. I have a pet care business, which I launched inside of Unlimited. And I also have a digital media marketing business, and I'm a current client.
Okay, amazing. Steph?
Hi, everybody. I'm Steph. I'm a leadership and visibility coach, and I am currently inside the past recent round of Unlimited.
Okay, amazing. So I want you guys to also know, I didn't point this out. Other than Mick, all of these women have only been in Unlimited for 60 days. So I just want you guys to know that they're still in it, they're still going, and this is their experience in their first 2 months. So why don't we just hear from you and we'll go in the same order. What were you struggling with before Unlimited? And then for everyone watching, pop in the chat if you have questions for them, if anything's coming up, if you relate to them, just go ahead and pop it in and we can answer those questions at the end. Okay, go ahead, Danielle.
Cool. So I first joined Unlimited because I honestly just wanted to stop hating myself so much. I remember like sobbing on the sales call with Mackenzie, telling her that if I didn't join this round, I would have to unfollow her because it would be too painful to watch more women like just trailblaze through their goals while I sat there reinforcing the belief that I didn't belong in the room. And she created so much safety for me to believe that I could belong in the room that as soon as I joined, I started seeing results. I really just wanted to stop hating myself and I joined and it happened instantly.
I love that. Thanks, Danielle. Beth?
So my biggest struggle when I was coming in was definitely my financial situation. This was like to one-to-one rather than Unlimited. But I was like, I remember, I think it was like maybe 4 months into coaching, like my car was about to be repossessed. Like I was in a really, really tough situation and like crying every single day. And like now, by the way, I'm Brenda, but I've paid off like $25,000 in 2 months. And I think just also on top of my financial situation, there was a lot of like personal things that were keeping me stuck. Such as just like not knowing how to celebrate myself and everything that I'd already created. Like I was terrified of actually succeeding and I was struggling to see like any other options. I was like in a business that I didn't like, wasn't excited about. And essentially like Mackenzie can ask like one question and just like change your whole life. And it's really, really beautiful.
Thank you. And what she means by she was Brenda is the example. I changed client names so that they have confidentiality if they want it. But she is Brenda, who was paid off the $25,000 of debt in 2 months. Okay, cool. Michaela?
So my biggest thing coming to Unlimited was that I needed a space and a coach that wasn't just business. I feel like there's so many people in the online space are like, this is what you have to do to be successful. Like, these are the practical things you need to do. And I was like, I need someone to help me work on my mindset because I know I'm holding myself back. I was like, I'm getting in my way. I'm my own worst enemy. So someone just help me figure out my mental shit, because I'm just my own worst nightmare. And that's why just everything Mackenzie says is just directly related to who I am and what I need, and the fact that I'm like, yes, this is my problem. It's not a fact that I don't know what I'm doing, although I like to tell myself I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not good enough, I don't know enough, blah. None of that's true. It's just the fact that I needed someone to be like, is that really true? Or like, what's the actual problem? So for me, my biggest struggles were just not enough was like my default. I was just like, oh, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough. Like, I eventually, during one of our calls, I was like, I'm so tired of saying the words not enough, because it's just not true, but it's like almost my default. So those were my biggest issues coming to Unlimited, and I just knew in my gut that like Mackenzie was the one to be like, okay, we're moving on. So that's it. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. Alicia, what were you struggling with before Unlimited?
Yeah, so I also was like bawling on the sales call with Mackenzie because my like biggest, I guess, struggle and belief was like I'm too emotional to be an entrepreneur, and I just felt like I was like too free-spirited to be consistent and therefore successful. And I also do a lot of like poetry and fiction, so I was like, I have to choose either being a businesswoman or being an artist, and I cannot be both. I have to put myself in a box. But I became both simultaneously in Unlimited. But those are the biggest things that I was struggling with before, and I felt like I could never change them.
Amazing. Steph?
For me, I feel like it took a second for me to figure out why or how, or yeah, basically why I would even consider Unlimited, because I remember Mackenzie and I were on the same program. So I always saw Mackenzie as a peer. We're both like badass, like super confident, whatever. But that was a lot of what I believe to be true. And then behind the scenes, I would have this like constant whiplash where I would experience a lot of shame and be like, no, like you're not actually enough, especially because you're not feeling confident in this moment, or you're not experiencing success and whatever. And what I freaking loved is whether it was the whiplash and confidence. And there was another one where I constantly kept like, or keep to some extent, fighting with myself, where it's like, you're not successful right now. It's like everything you've created so far isn't successful. It's amazing, but it kept me in like a constant state of like chasing for like a different version of success, or just more or whatever, in order to finally feel like enough, finally feel like I'm confident enough in all the right things. And it's like literally Unlimited, whether it's coaching calls, like whatever we're doing, whether it's curriculum, there's always something where it's just like, this is what you need. And I freaking love it.
Amazing. Thank you, guys. Okay, what's the best part of Unlimited for each of you? Danielle, do you want to start again?
Yeah, I would love to start again. I mean, it's an even tie between Mackenzie's coaching and the community. I honestly have never felt more seen or supported or loved through coaching. And I've been able to create more money and more safety for myself as a direct result of her coaching that I literally could not have even imagined possible before joining Unlimited. And it gets better every single week. I think I'm just over 60 days in, and I've literally made like forever friendships. I could talk about the community endlessly and like way run us over time, but like I have built some of the most incredible relationships that literally just want nothing more than to see me succeed. And it is the community. Wow.
Thanks, Danielle. Beth, what about you? What's your favorite?
So I'm gonna piggyback off of Danielle a little bit. When I joined Unlimited, it was like really just I wanted a different price point to continue working with Mackenzie. And I was like, yeah, the community will be fine, but like y'all, the community is my favorite part. I love it so much. I feel like I've made such lasting relationships. These women are like there to cry with you, to laugh with you, to celebrate you, to hype you up. Like literally, they just want the best for you. And it is truly so magical to be in a place with such uplifting women every single day of your life. And like, I can't say enough about it, especially as someone who was like, okay, I'll get a community. But now I'm like full dead set in like the peer calls, everything. It just all works so perfectly.
I remember talking to Beth about Unlimited, and she's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm sure. This is gonna help you." Okay, amazing, Michaela. What was your favorite part? So Michaela's gonna answer for her first round in Unlimited.
Yeah. Honestly, my favorite part is Mackenzie. I'm just like, she's the shit. She's like the greatest. But in reality, what Mackenzie creates is the best. It's the freedom and the safety to come as you are and who you are with everything that you have. It's not just a container for business. You're not here to just talk about business. You can come with everything and the safety that creates to be vulnerable. I feel like vulnerability is my superpower. I love being vulnerable. But to have a safe space where I felt like I could come and be that is everything and more for me.
Amazing. Alicia, what about you? What's the best part for you?
Yeah, the community. Like we out here every day talking about all the things in our life, and I love it. And I also love like the diversity of business ownership. Like it's not just like, coaches teaching you how to be a coach. Like it's every single type of business owner. And I just think it's so good because like Mackenzie, you'll never like tell us like what to do, and you'll never take credit for any sort of transformation that we have. You just like ask really powerful questions, and I just think Unlimited has so many like really good tools that help us understand like our brain and our pain better and our power. Yeah.
Love that. Thank you. Steph, what about you?
For me, it's super, super layered. So hopefully you can all keep track of like my thought process, but it's basically just all the different types of support. So for example, what tends to happen a lot for me is whether it's like my brain that gets super distracted or thinks there's so many things that I need to like learn and integrate and whatnot. With the different layers of support, I feel like it really helps you integrate what you're learning, integrate the beliefs, integrate the confidence, and like actually have it so that it lands 100% as opposed to going back into your past identity, past beliefs, and all that kind of stuff. So it's literally like we'll talk about something, get coaching on a call, then I'll go journal on it. Mackenzie will recommend a curriculum video specific to that. So I'll watch it, I'll finally understand it big picture, then I'll journal more. Then I get peer coached on it. Literally last night I was bawling my eyes out with half the people on this call. And after that we're messaging and I'm like, okay, this is my version. And and I literally have goosebumps right now. I'm gonna start talking before I start like bawling my eye out. Freaking amazing.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that, guys. Okay. What's the most beautiful, exciting growth you've had in Unlimited? Oh, guys, I keep having little mistakes. What's the most exciting growth? Whether it's business, life, personal, whatever it is, what's most exciting? So Danielle, how about you?
So fun fact, I've been a business owner for 6 years, and I came to Mackenzie loathing my business. I wanted to shut it down. I wanted to burn it to the ground. I fucking hated it. And I fell back in love with my business. After 6 years, that says a lot. Like all of the negative energy and animosity that I've had towards my business has literally melted away. I've created a structure that has created so much more consistent income. I'm pretty sure I've gotten new inquiries almost weekly. I have a new inquiry booked today, even right after this call. And I love my life again. Part of my Richer project is collecting sunsets. And my boyfriend took a picture a couple weeks ago and sent me a sunset. So even people in my life are contributing to me being more emotionally richer. And it is the most beautiful experience I've ever created. And I can also create safety. There's so many. I could literally go on forever. I can create safety in my body for the first time in my life. And I'm going to mute myself before I start crying because that is.
I also didn't know about the inquiries. Congrats. That's so exciting. Tell me how it goes. Beth, what about you? Most beautiful, exciting growth you've had?
So it's definitely just the fact that my schools are starting in May. I remember it was almost a year ago. I think it was like May or something of last year. I don't remember, but it's been almost a year. And I told Mackenzie, like, my schools won't happen for at least 7 years because I want to homeschool my kids first. And I've got a couple years before I have kids and all of that kind of stuff. And I was just like, it's going to take a while. And she was like, why? Like, why does it have to? And it like literally just planted the smallest seed in my head. And now, like, I confidently talk about this to people in my community, to people that I meet all the time, to this group. I love this idea. I'm so excited. And it just feels so good to see it happening like 10 times faster than I thought it could.
I love that. Mick, what about you? Most beautiful, exciting growth?
I would have to say it's just realizing that nothing means anything unless you assign meaning to it. I remember telling Mackenzie that if I got a job that it would mean I'd failed. And she was like, why? And I was like, well, that's just the perception. If you have a business, then you have to get a job. Like, that's just what I thought it meant. And she's like, well, it can't mean anything unless you make it mean something. And realizing that and working through that and that programming and reprogramming that, just all that work literally allowed me to create the life that I have now. It allowed me to move to Thailand. I got another job, haven't failed. My business is busier and better and bigger than ever before. So it's just the growth and the learning and the realizing that nothing means anything unless we make it mean something. And like nothing, all the rules are made up anyway. Just make your own rules. So I'd say like just that growth of like reprogramming everything, just also throwing everything in the fire. It's like fuck it, because nothing means anything anyway, and nothing, everything's made up. We make our own rules.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Michaela wanted to move abroad for so long, and the opportunity that literally fell in her lap was to go move to Thailand for this job. And she took it. She took it fast. It was so fun. Okay, amazing. Alicia, what about you?
I don't fucking hate myself every single day of my life. It's just so crazy how, yeah, everything has changed. Like, I actually see myself as like talented and lovable, which I did not before. And I started, I guess, like in a marketing sense, like just doing whatever the fuck I wanted, and it worked, which meant like me stepping behind the scenes and not having to be on camera every single day, and just sort of, yeah, the whole like there are no rules, like making my own rules. And because that energy is like shared through the screen and to my clients, like I get more business from that. So it's just been the most, yeah. Plus I created a whole second business. Now I run 2 businesses. Like what? Yeah, it's been dope.
Amazing. Okay, cool. Steph, what about you?
For me, I feel like it's been a lot of things. Like definitely my life feeling richer, but I'm sure I'll share about that soon. So I feel like I want to concentrate a little bit more on like the business stuff, because that's the part that I felt so deeply that I was like struggling with. I think one of the biggest things in terms of growth is the different breakthroughs that I've been able to have. And they've all been facilitated, like I mentioned earlier, through different like levels of coaching. It's like breakthroughs like I used to struggle so much with the whole belief of like, I'm enough, I'm worthy, right? And I think to some extent, maybe it was like a little bit of like a language barrier, like like speaking Spanish is my first language, and then English is like my second. And maybe just the word worthy, I'm starting to realize maybe it just didn't land with me, right? Like I understand the concept, but I didn't quite resonate with it. And I've had this like massive breakthrough that I'm actually extraordinary. And it was just a tiny little shift where it's like, well, somebody who's like extraordinary is worthy, and they are enough, and they are all the things that we're talking about, right? It just landed better for me. And it was all facilitated to like these kind of like coaching, the Slack, the constant calls. So whether it's like I'm extraordinary, I am confident even in the lows, that was like a huge freaking block. And now it's like when I'm experiencing the lows, the doubt, even the shame, I'm literally like, I'm confident because I have what I need. I have the tools, I have the solutions, like I can work through all this, right, in order to succeed. And then that's probably the last one, the fact that I am successful. So yes, I can grow. Yes, I can chase new sexy goals, but like I'm successful as I am. And that's like a huge, huge one that I'm like constantly, like currently trying to like really embody. Because I feel like that makes all the difference. It's just you're successful, it's a given. It's just everything's gonna happen the way it's meant to happen.
Love it. I love it. Okay. If you had to say, how has your life become richer? Just share one way in which your life has become richer inside of Unlimited.
I trust myself.
Love it. Love it. Beth, what about you?
I truly like love the hell out of my life. I like I feel like I've had so many financial wins that like you could easily go to that. But the thing is like the emotional and the experiential wealth that you create in this, like to make your life richer, is just like unmatched. Like the amount of safety and like happiness and joy it brings into your life is just truly amazing. And I think that's pretty much what it is. It's like knowing that I am like playful, goofy, and ditzy while still being like extremely logical, curious, and like educated, and knowing I can exist in both of those, and just like being able to build a super rich life knowing that's who I am.
I love that. Michaela, what about you? How's your life become richer?
The big one is just travel. I've only ever wanted to travel. I'm like, I don't want to do anything else in life but travel. I don't care if I have nothing else. And the huge thing is travel. So I like Mackenzie said, I traveled for a month in our actual previous container. Previous to that container, I hadn't signed clients in months. I wasn't making any money. And then I got to go travel for a month, like with no qualms about it. And now I'm living in Thailand. I'm traveling to Vietnam this weekend. I have travel planned for April and May. And it's just like unreal that like this is my reality. I'm just like, oh yeah, no, I'm just going to Vietnam this weekend. I'm like, who, what, when, now? Okay, cool. So it's just that freedom, the ability to travel. And the big thing that's on top of that is like, I don't feel like my business is gonna crumble because I'm checking out for 2 weeks. Like I'm just out of office for 2 weeks. And I'm like, cool, I'll be back. There'll still be inquiries. I'll still have clients. Like before that was not a thing. I was like, oh my God, if I even leave my business for 5 minutes, it's gonna fall apart. So just big, juicy, beautiful, everything.
I love it. Okay, Alicia, how about you? How is one way your life has become richer inside of Unlimited?
I've always wanted to share my writing because I've done it my whole life, and now I host my own poetry nights and spit bars. And I'm finally, for the first time ever, talking about publishing my books inside of Unlimited, which is something I've always wanted to do, never took action on. So good.
I love it. And I think the special thing too, I just comment, Alicia, I don't even know if you saw it in Slack. Because we have so many different types of people inside of Unlimited, I literally told Alicia, hey, go talk to this other published author that's inside of Unlimited. She can tell you how to publish this book. And I just think having that kind of community to rely on and lean on for business, but also friendships, is just so special. Steph, what about you? How has your life become richer? Steph, why don't you actually tell people what your Richer project is and what you've done with it? Like a couple examples, because everyone loves hearing about Steph's Richer project.
Yeah, 1000%. So my 25% Richer project is all about making time every week, like just one time a week, to prioritize intentional time / intentional dates, intentional adventures with my wife, which is something that, for context, I had tried to do literally once a week a year ago. I was trying to take Fridays off, and I'm like, every Friday we're going to do something. We're going to go to the beach. We're going to go, I don't know, do a hike, whatever, wine tasting, anything. It failed miserably. It didn't happen, kept making excuses like I'm too busy, too many priorities, even stopped taking Fridays off altogether. Now, literally since the first week of Unlimited, it happens every single week, not even just once a week. Most weeks it happens once, twice, maybe even 3 times if like we're lucky. Like that's pushing it a little bit, but like literally we go out and do stuff. Sometimes it's even just at home, like picking a different recipe, but like we've been doing so many freaking things, like going out to like little brewery tastings, like wine tastings. I live in wine country, so it's easy to do that kind of stuff, but we've done like stumbled into like bingo nights, and we're just like, what? Like we were here for like a drink, stayed for like 2 hours, won a bunch of prizes. Like I've been personally, not with my wife, but I still count this as my Richer project. I've been dancing bachata and salsa weekly, again, 1, 2, or 3 times a week on top of the intentional dates. Like it's completely changed my life, like buying the fancy cocktails, cross-country skiing for the first time, curling for the first time, walking downtown. Like it's huge. I'm so freaking happy. And I think even outside of like the business success, like that's what such a huge part of what makes me feel so successful, because it's like, holy freaking shit, like this is my life. Like this is what literally I wanted. I wanted to have all the white space imaginable to just like live in the moment, as opposed to like wait till retirement or wait till some sexy random milestone was reached. And it's like, no, you get to have that now. And it's just, it's freaking incredible. And thank you for challenging us to do that, because it's clearly life-changing.
Is. Okay, for time purposes, I'm just going to skip to this one. What would you tell someone who's here watching the replay, listening to the podcast, about unlimited? What would you tell someone considering joining? Danielle, what about you?
A good one, because I feel like even with adding a monthly payment for unlimited, because I joined, I'm actually farther ahead financially than I have ever been in my 6 years of business. I love myself more. I can create safety for myself anywhere, anytime, at any moment as a direct result from this container. And if there was one thing I could tell you, it is impossible not to succeed here. It is literally impossible not to succeed. If you have any doubt, it is impossible not to succeed. None of us will let you fail ever.
I love that. Thank you. Beth, what about you? Would you tell someone considering joining?
I would say, first of all, don't wait. Obviously, Mackenzie has the VIP day, which is amazing, as I think almost all of us can attest to in here. But also, I'm just looking at the chat right now. This has just been a complete client gas up time. This is what you get when you get into unlimited. This is the community. This is what happens. This is the vibe that you want to be. If you want anything close to this, we literally gas each other up. We are there for each other. It's truly remarkable. I love it.
Thank you. Okay, love it. Mick, what about you? What did you love most about unlimited last round? Or what would you tell someone considering joining? Wrong question.
I'm gonna try to keep this short. What I will say is I got on the call and I was fully convinced I was gonna be the one that ruined Mackenzie's 100% success rate. I was like, Mackenzie, I'm gonna fuck it up for you. I'm gonna be that one that fails. And honestly, I don't think I said this before. I'm the Maria case study where 7x my cash. Even Mackenzie talking about that, I'm like, me? That's so cool. It's so crazy. So what I will say is I got on the sales call with Mackenzie. I also booked that sales call at lastminute.com. Don't do that because it's not necessary. But I booked it lastminute.com and I was like, hey, and I was just I'm going to ruin your success rate. I'm going to be the one that fails it. And instead, I just had these massive, insane amounts of wins. And I'm just on the other side, not being I feel so sorry for Michaela a year ago now, because we had our call in March last year, who just believed so little in herself that she thought she was going to be the one to fail. So what I want to say is what I did before joining Unlimited was I created these personas of the people that had these wins, that they were these unattainable humans that I would never be. And what I want to say is we're all humans and we set our own goals, which is why they're attainable and why we can smash those goals out the park. So whatever your goals are within this container, it's undoubtedly that you will achieve them. I believe it. I believe in you already. I believe in all of us. It will happen.
That, yeah. Mick is Maria. I always like to have fans for their confidentiality if they want it. But yes, this is all that she has created. Okay, Alicia, what about you? I'm gonna go back over here. What would you say to someone considering joining?
I would say, basically the same sort of sentiment, don't walk, run, come join this party. We are ready for you. But also, my friend was the only man that ever joined Unlimited, and he was the one that I consulted when I was considering joining Unlimited, and he said, you will not regret it. And I have not ever. And also too, if you're ever somebody that's been, or I guess maybe feels a little bit jaded from joining other programs where somebody took your money, didn't care about you, it very much is not like that here. Mackenzie very much cares and supports you on all different things in your life. And I would just say, yeah, you do it. You're guaranteed to get more confidence, succeed, make your money back, all the things. And the skills are for a lifetime that you'll use.
Thank you. I love that. Steph, what's the one thing you would tell someone considering joining?
I would say that if anything that you've heard either today or even through Mackenzie's content in general that resonates, honestly, to freaking do it. And I think what really helps reinforce that that's a safe thing to do is the fact that the way Mackenzie coaches, you're basically being supported in whatever comes up, literally anything. It actually blew my mind. I've never seen this in a coaching container, just where a coach is able to go that deep in so many different aspects, whether it's life, literally everything, business, everything. So basically, this is gonna sound so cheesy. Her coaching range is truly unlimited. So you're gonna be supported. You'll be fine. You'll be great. You'll be more than fine. You'll be extraordinary.
Okay, amazing. Cool. Hey, thanks for listening. I have exciting news. The doors to Unlimited are open. This is my signature program for female founders who want to build audacious self-belief and the skills to create $100,000 on repeat using the power of confident marketing. The program is 6 months of weekly coaching, a 30+ bite-sized video curriculum, the best community support, and the Richer Project, where we get you a minimum of 25% financially richer and infinitely, beautifully, unrecognizably, emotionally richer. Doors close March 20th. You can check the episode links for more info and the link to apply. And we now have 2 ways to join. You can enroll directly, which a couple women have, which is so exciting, or you can book your private sales call with me to talk one-on-one and see if this is the best fit for you. So doors close March 20th. I can't wait to see you inside.